Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Virginia Killmore, and welcome to my studio. Today we are going to be making a paper pumpkin kit from October. I'm going to try every month now to share with you paper pumpkin. So if you're getting paper pumpkin from me, you can follow along and make the cards right with us. I'm excited about that. I want to remind you that come a week from today, I'm going to be having a coffee and cards event on Facebook Live. We're going to try it one more time, and you will get to select the process or the pick what I use as far as cardstock or colors. We'll have a little poll, you pick it, and then whatever you guys decide I will use for the cards. So let's get started with today's presentation, which is paper pumpkin. So this is October's paper pumpkin. So we're a little behind. Hopefully I'll get my November one shortly and we can do that. But this one, I'm literally opening up with you. I have not actually seen it except for seeing it online. I've seen some examples. And I always love the fact that they send some kind of flyer that tells you a little bit about it. And there are sentiments in 3 different languages in this. I didn't realize that. I'm just reading this as we go along. So it tells you if you want to send something in French for peace, it will be pace. I think that's, or harmonie in French. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but joy will be joie. And in German, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. And love, of course, is amour. I'm very good in French and Romance languages, not so much in Germanic. But I think that's pretty neat. You have the ability to use some of these sentiments in different languages, just in case you have friends that live in other parts of the country, the world. One of the things I love about it, it's like opening up a special present when you get the kit. And you always get ink and stamps, and I have my blocks over here so that we can use that. You will want to open this up. And I do know that this month is cards, Christmas cards. Look at how pretty this paper is. I guess I should rip it a little more. I'm just always afraid that I'm going to want to put things back in an envelope. They even give you glue dots. I like to use my own glue dots, but I do from time to time if I'm short, and I love when we get dimensionals. See how it comes in different languages. So you just have to choose the ones you want. But I am going to get the instructions first because that always makes it a lot easier. What did I do with the instructions? They usually are right in the box. Oh, they're right here. Hello. I didn't pull them out. Now the instructions are usually pretty easy to follow, just following the directions. But what I usually end up doing is just looking at the picture and trying to figure out how to put it together. Ooh, look at this, some very interesting texture. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's cardstock. Cardstock that has texture on it. So it looks like we're going to need for each card, and I'm going to make one of each so that you can see them. And I'm going to set this aside. So we need one of each cardstock. Now that's interesting because I'm seeing that the cardstock here has this pattern on both of them, but maybe they don't both have them. I don't know. Just going to go along. I'm not good at reading directions. I'm a visual learner. Look at how pretty. Ooh, all our envelopes. It looks like there's enough for 8 cards. So here's the cool thing. Once you become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can always buy a refill. So let's say you really like something in here and you, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm laughing at this. That's why this was this way, because I folded it and didn't notice that it was patterned on the other side. I am just one little bit of hilarious, I think. I lost track of my thought, but I'm going to start punching out some of the components we're going to need, because that is always helpful to have them set aside. I'm going to set this aside because we're not going to need that. We're obviously going to need 2 of these. And we are going to need 1 large and 1 small sentiment. I'm just getting out all the stuff we're going to need. I can see we're going to need a gold flag, and since I have nobody in another country, I do have people in South America, but they are not going to understand any of those 2 languages. I'm going to pick joy for 1. And I guess I don't need the other one unless I do another card. I'm just looking at my pictures. So I'm going to be doing my stamping and then putting together of my card. So let's pick 1 card and let's get started with that one. I think this is the one I'm going to start with. One that is the wreath. That one looks pretty easy to do. I will have to read directions because you know, you stamp, stitch, die cut labels with wreaths and wreaths. Oh, we have to stamp the wreaths too. What do we have to stamp the wreaths with? I have to figure that out. Oh, we stamp right on here. I think that's what that means. Yep, we stamp right on the wreath. Ooh, that's a little scary for me. I thought that wreath looked a little light. Well, I hope they sent extra wreaths. So we are going to be stamping our wreath right on here, and I don't think it matters too much, though you could line up the holes. Let's see. It really doesn't line up perfectly no matter what you do, so I'm just going to go ahead. Now, if you've never used the Stampin' Spot, my suggestion is to peel this back because it'll seal it when you close it. And I keep all my Stampin' Spots. I use them all the time for stamping. And I'm going to go ahead and ink my stamp set. Now, I always like to stamp it once off my paper. I just never know how it's going to stamp the first time. So I'm stamping it on a scrap piece of paper, and it's stamped pretty well. I think now if I re-ink it, it'll be primed enough. And if I do have an area that's not so great, I can always use my sentiment to sort of cover that up. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on here. I think this just livens up the card. Oh yes, that's so nice with a lighter color behind it. Now we need to add a sentiment, and since I picked joy, I think I'm going to put to the world on my sentiment. I again will stamp off on a scrap piece of paper because I always like to see how it stamps the first time, and that's stamped beautifully. So hopefully if I ink it correctly, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to turn that so that I get it nice and straight. Okay, got that all stamped. Let's put that card together. It looks like we're going to be using dimensionals on the back of this. So I will get this piece. Oh, there must be a bigger piece because this one is too small. So let me check and see if I missed something along the way. Yep, there are some bigger ones. And this texture is great. It's like a knitted sweater. I don't know if you can see the texture, but it is so pretty. And that is going to get dimensionaled on the back. And I'm going to put 5 of them. on there, because you need one in the center. And I can start taking them off. I usually have my pokey tool for this, but there's only 5 of them, so I think I can handle it. I'm noticing that there's ribbon that goes around, so I am going to do that now before I put it down, or at least put it on and tie it after. Let's get the ribbon started. I think what I'll do is I'll just put it on like this, and then I can tie it. Okay, so now that I have that on, I can go ahead and make my bow. For those of you that hate making bows, I'm just going to tell you, you just have to readjust it when you're done. There's just no way around it. The nice thing about this, though, is that I can move it to wherever I would like on the paper by just sort of moving that. I guess it's stuck, so I lied. I told a fib. So now I'm just going to put this on here and my joy. But before I do that, I think I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this as well. I'm only going to put 3. And then I'll glue my word joy on there first and to the world. And because I'm not thrilled with a little section right here, I'm going to glue this down with some green glue. Remember, less is more with our green glue. And then this is going to get glued right on there. I think this also needs to be dimensional. What do you think? I may run out of dimensionals, so I'm going to get some of my little ones. And I'm just going to put one here and here. Because I want it covering up a little bit of the word joy. That's how it shows in the picture. But I don't want it covering it up very much. Okay. I think I'm ready to put this on, and I've got my first card done. The nice thing about these card kits is you could spend an afternoon with some grandkids, your kids, whoever you want, making these cards. There, I like that best. And then you have cards to send out, because I love the envelopes. Look at these envelopes with the liner right in it. So there's card number 1 done. Let's do card number 2. Now, card number 2 uses the smaller little square. And the string is just sort of put on in a circular fashion. And what I've learned with that is you want to do 1 round with all your fingers, and then 1 round with just maybe 3 fingers. And then that's where the glue dots come in and are super important. I'm going to glue dot them here, and then we'll move that around. So I'm going to use a glue dot from our kit, and I'm afraid to let go of it. I think this is a good spot to glue dot it, because it's going to be underneath something. Oh my goodness, I don't like this glue dot, I'm sorry. I'm going to just grab some of my own. Our glue dots that we sell are much bigger. I think I probably could have used this if I'd put it down on the paper first, but I neglected to do that, so now I'm stuck with this. Okay, so this one looks like it just gets glued right on, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it. No, I'm not. I like the dimensionals. I got all these dimensionals. I'm going to use them. That's the nice part about the kit. You don't have to follow the directions exactly, and it really doesn't tell you what to do as far as that one. Okay, I'm going to put this down here where I intended it. Now I've just got to get everything to lay in place, keeping my little ribbon so that it's visible. Now, I cut out these flowers. It looks like I need two. One here. I only cut one out and one up top. So see, one it shows and one doesn't. There. And those could be dimensional. I think I'm going to glue this one down to keep my ribbon in place. And that looks like it sticks out like this. And then I'm going to dimensional this one. Thank you for your patience today. I know I'm sort of on the fly here, figuring out what we're supposed to be doing. You know what? I don't think I should dimensional it because I'm thinking about putting the label on, so I'm going to not dimensional it. And that will also help me keep my ribbon or twine where I want it. Okay, see how that sort of sets that up for me. Now I need a gold flag, which I think I had already punched out, but I can't find it, so I'm punching another one out. And I need our sentiment, which is Merry Christmas. I don't see that a lot now. I'm going to grab a block right here. And again, we will be using our stamp for the first time. So I always like to stamp it once off on a scrap piece of paper to see if it's stamping well. Do you know the trick if your stamp isn't stamping well? I always use it dry on a piece of paper and I sort of rub it around a few times. That did pretty good, but it's not great, so I'm going to do that right now. This is what I mean. I just sort of rough it up, clean it up. Let's see if that stamps any better, and we'll do it on the back side, and whichever one we like better, that's the one we'll use. Now that means the stitching isn't showing up as well on the back side, but I think I can live with that. Oh, that's much better. So just roughing it up a little bit really helped. And at this point, I can either green glue it or use the glue dots that came with the kit. Just trying to get that nice and straight. And I am going to use dimensionals. Excuse my table noise. It always doesn't like it when I push down on it. Okay. Now that is moving, mainly because I'm working with foil and paper. So I have to make sure that stays nice and straight. Oh, how pretty that is. Those are so nice. So we've got our 2 cards. I've made already 2 cards in just a few minutes. Give you the envelope with my paper pumpkin kit. I think I'll leave that open so you can sort of see it. What do you think? Paper Pumpkin is a subscription that you can purchase every month. It's different. You never know what you're going to get, but that's part of the charm of it. It is, you can stop it or pause it at any point, but you must subscribe by the 10th of the month to get that month's kit. So they don't really show you the kit till the 10th of the month. So, but I have been subscribing to it for years. I love it. I send it as gifts for shut-ins. It's a great idea because everything comes with it, including the first one comes with a block. Now, if you are sending it to a shut-in, you'd probably want to send along some kind of acrylic block for that person. But it's a great gift. It's a great thing to do with grandkids, your kids, your family. Put on some Christmas music and enjoy. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And don't forget, Tuesday, November 17th, I'm going to be doing cards and coffee at 10:30 in the morning.